It's a well-known and, at this point, absolute fact that a single childless man can have a fine quality of life for very cheap, even before he puts into practice all of what I said earlier. Add that to the fact that one and all are constantly looking for ways to make life easier. It does lead one to a flagrantly bold question. Who the hell determined what constitutes a high-value man? A high-value man. Simply put, who determined that what constitutes a high-value man is in fact the case? And why is anyone listening to them? I don't think it was men deciding this for themselves, much less other men. I mean, first of all, why the hell would you listen to what another man says and well, oh my god, all these people listening to what Kevin Samuel says and all these other dudes. Yeah, but they're just relaying what somebody else said. Who was that someone else that said it? And that's where you get the point of, I don't think it was men coming up with this for themselves and other men. Right? Especially with the amount of work that, for the most part, could more or less will be futile, and especially if, again, somebody else is coming up with it, they can change the definition more than the time changes on a clock. Right? Anyway. The only ones left are women. They're the ones that determine what a high-value man. I mean, okay, well, don't men get to determine? You think so. You think men were the ones that get to determine what a good woman is, or a real woman, or a high-value woman, or a high-quality woman. It's probably the best, the best thing to say. But in today's day and age, where women don't care what men think, and all of that, don't need no man, strong, smart, independent, all that. No. Men don't get to decide that, but apparently it's women that decided what constitutes a high-value man. And if I remember what Kevin said himself to that one white girl that came in trying to, I guess, think maybe she was of consequence, it was women from before most of us was even born. And right up onto present day saying, hey, the 3 6s. 3 6s. Interesting. Interesting. 6 packs, 6 feet, 6 figures. Amazing how it's 3 6s. Moving right along. The only ones left are women. Oh. So once again, we're talking about women and trying to win their approval. Screw all of what MGTOW was originally about. But originally about, not what it's morphed or mutated into now, but what it was originally about. If that's indeed the case, then this entire thing has to be the ultimate form of, quote unquote, real men do this, quote unquote, real men don't do that. And you, quote unquote, men bowing down and bowing out, jumping through flaming, jagged, rusty hoops like a trained baby seal. Oh boy. Considering the ruin many men have gone to in trying, gone through, actually not gone through, they didn't come out on the other side, gone to and died, in more ways than one, have gone to in trying to get with women. I don't see why they're still controlling what men do. Why are they control? Oh, I tell you how they do. Because of vag. Okay. Well, let's go with that. Because vag, you say. Why the hell are you going to pay for something you already have, or can simply, or can have simply by taking it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. I better explain this one. Do it real quick. All right. So by taking it, well, seems to me that anyone coming with the argument because vag and because guys want the vag, and that's why we're sitting here moving sun, moon, stars, challenging God and Satan and all that business. Because vag. Anybody come with that argument? Didn't you get the memo? Did you not get the memo? Is this thing on? Okay. We live in a quote-unquote rape culture, meaning you can see a girl you want to bang, grab her, bang her right then and there in the middle of the street. We're talking hand over mouth, balls deep missionary, or guard for you Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu types. And whatever else involved in Christmas birthday present style surprise sex. All right. All right. It's not like anyone is going to try to stop you, since no one ever, I mean, it's not illegal, is it? I mean, it's an entire culture. How can a whole culture of something be illegal? Since no one ever lies about anything involving the topic of rape, I have to again ask why any man is going to go through so much just to get some vag, when he can simply just, he can get it just just physically taking it. Take it, drag it off into some isolated place. I mean, actually, no, that's not even necessary because it's an entire culture. It's what everyone does, right? 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 At this point, the fact that men are still doing anything because women, when women as a whole, at least in the Western world, have said everything negative, every negative thing up to and including we need the end of men, saying nothing of what they've done as far as legislation, for Ben to still be talking about women, video after video after video, tells me personally, that women can get away with it all. It's not until men simply stop talking that women will have their bluff called, and we see who really can do without who. As long as these videos keep, and I mean, videos is just the main medium of the day today. Videos, Twitter, social media as a whole, much less traditional media, much less, stuff on the internet, articles and whatever, interviews, whatever, all that stuff. As long as these videos, we'll go with that one, keep coming out about women, even if it's something negative, it's still about women as opposed to any other effing thing in existence, people. Christ. Right? Nothing will change. Nothing will change. See, as long as you're still talking and huffing and puffing and blowing stuff down and kicking and screaming, you still care. When you stop talking, maybe you still just stare at them, just look, but just stop talking. God forbid you don't look at them. God forbid you go doing your own stuff and completely ignore them. Absolutely. But at the very least, the moment you stop talking, that's when it's over. And then it truthfully is over. Right now, with all these men talking like this, all these men, all these different channels, that's because they want to go back. They don't like this freedom that not having to care about women affords them, right? You don't need no man? All right, ladies, have fun. Bye-bye. No, they want to go back to being the workhorse for women. And as long as that's the case, women have won. They can do whatever they want to. They can light you on fire. They can kick you like a puppy. They can throw you like a little kitten. You will come crawling back. They have won. They're going to get away with it all. Nothing will change. Maybe one day society will see men not only live life independent of women, and I mean just their own personal life as a cell, not the entire planet. Just, I mean, because obviously women are going to be here. Okay, unlike women, as a whole, not as an absolute, but as a whole in general, men aren't calling for the end of women. Okay. Artificial womb and artificial sperm, go look that up if you don't know what that is. Aside, men aren't calling for the end of women. Okay. Even the chauvinists, the actual true chauvinists and misogynists, real, strictly speaking, not, oh my god, misogynist because he said anything I don't like, but actual even they are not calling for the end of women. so, so that should tell you something. Anyway. When those wishing to do studies as to what the hell happened come, they are driven away by force. Up to and including force. We'll tell them to leave once, and if they don't, drive them away by force. Nope. Nope, you should have asked a long time ago. It's too late. It's too late. Moving right along. Just hetero males and hetero females. You LGBT, go have your fun, or just non-hetero, whatever the hell you are, QIA+. Y'all go have your fun. Ain't nothing to see over here in hetero world. Existing, doing their own thing, and that's it. That's it. What about continue that? you don't want to go down that road with me. Not me. Not me. Okay. Let's keep going here. Almost done. Got one page after this, and that page is like not even half a page, so yay. The main reason I see for this needing to be the case is if it doesn't happen, women get away with it, as I've said. All the BS women have done as a whole, obviously not as an absolute, not every single woman, but honestly, the actual not alls that do in fact exist, you all not alls weren't doing all to stop the alls or the rest of the alls from running a goddamn amok. Alright? You let those demons in your camp, ladies, women, run amok. So, you didn't stop them. As much as you legally could, because, the freedom of speech and everybody can output whatever. But, you not alls, you didn't really see, some tried. Shahrazad Ali tried. Some tried. And honestly, when feminism first started in this country, not the Western world, but in this country, women were about it up until they got what they wanted in the right to vote and all that stuff, and then the smart ones got out because they saw what was coming. So, yeah, but by and large, the vast majority of you did not try. The not alls, but you didn't try. So, makes me look suspiciously at you because it's kind of like, you get the benefit of saying not all, but you also get whatever goodies that feminism has given you. Great. And then also whatever you have gotten, as I'm about to say, at the expense of men. Alright, so, yeah. Looking suspiciously at you. At least with the feminists, they let it be known they're our enemies. They are heterosexual males' enemies. You not alls out there? Anyway, where are we at? All the BS women have done as a whole, and especially through feminism from the 60s on, from poisoning the black community. Take umbrage to that one. From poisoning the black community, as though black men have ever been in a position to oppress black women in the history of the Western world, not just the U.S., but the Western world as a whole. To VAWA, anybody who doesn't know what that is, you're late. Go look it up. I'm not gonna even get into that. To VAWA, with the especially the part of it with the mandatory arrest laws and how those laws are written and enforced. Despite being more or less unconstitutional, but okay. Well, actually, I think they so jujitsu'd it. So even though it's, for all intents and purposes, unconstitutional, technically it might not actually not be. But yeah, the fact that they're able to sit there and so perfectly engineer that around the Constitution, right, tells you how much damage they were trying to do. Even though there are already laws that are dead equal for both people, before that came up, oh no, you needed a special one strictly for women. The one that was dead even neutral for everybody and that women could use as they needed more than men. Because, God forbid men, and let it be known that, hey, you know what? If we were to be fair and equal with everything, like assaults and all that stuff, men actually get assaulted by women a lot more and nothing happens to them versus the other way around. But okay. More damage, women are more likely to use weapons too, according to all the independent studies. So, but hey, hey, let's not talk about that. But they need the special laws, special VAWA rules for women specifically. And they managed to bend and twist and matrix it around the Constitution of it being unconstitutional. As far as I can tell, because for it to still be here, if it was this blatantly unconstitutional, it would have been gone by now, as I'd like to think, right? So they must have done something to make it to where it isn't technically unconstitutional. And it's just like, geez, y'all couldn't even break the Constitution in your mad rage. No, you were very strategic and tactical with it, It just shows you how much damage they wanted to do. Anyway, mandatory arrest laws to today's day and age, where if a hetero male even thinks about women in the privacy of his own mind, much less that's rape, creep, perv, sexual harassment, street harassment, objectification, misogyny, patriarchy, and whatever other feminist foolishness I may have forgotten. If men keep going down this path, all seemingly just to get access to women, then that means women will get away scot-free with all of it. With all of it. Understand this. Most, if not all, of the things invented and or discovered that benefit mortal humans and maybe even the animal kingdom were done so directly by people, men and, God forbid, some women, that were not what would be considered, by today's standards, as high value men, right? Especially if the monetary component is factored in. Or am I, right, to understand that every invention and scientific, maybe even social or spiritual breakthrough that was done by someone who was wealthy and that didn't need to work a day in their life. Okay. Whether they're getting bankrolled by the rich or doing their own independent work, the high-quality people produce revolutionary breakthroughs in the areas that they actually want to work in because they enjoy it, not because they're chasing money, power, prestige, and status. Hello, I don't know, Newton, Tesla, who else we got? I believe the Arab guy that invented zero and was responsible for what? All the branches of mathematics over and above natural math. The Newtonian-based math, Newtonian-based math as well. Basically the math that is based off the perceptions and thoughts of certain mathematicians and physicists and stuff, not the natural math of the natural world, plus, minus, multiply and divide. Those four, right? The guy that invented zero and was pretty much helped with all that, I think he might have actually been, I can't remember, but I think he might have actually been, maybe even if not rich, of some money. I'm not sure. Who else? Just was Einstein rich? I can't even remember if Einstein himself was rich. Did he die rich? Well, was he rich during life? Yeah, anyway. The vast majority of them were not chased. And hell, even today, with okay, all the breakthroughs of today. Yeah, okay. Jeff Bezos is rich. He may be bankrolling it, but the ones actually going through and coming up with the stuff are the people that work for him. If they work for anybody else, they would be able to come up with it. God forbid they were able to come up with it on their own, but they didn't have the money to or whatever to do it as fast as they wanted, but they still could have. Point is, they were the ones that came up with what society needs. It could have been Bezos, it could have been people from Walmart, the Walton family. Walton? Is it Walton? Yeah. It could have been Gates. It could have been anybody else. It could have been the CEO, Africa's richest dude, the Dangote dude, the dude from Dangote Bank. It could have been anybody, which means they are not the deciding factor. Well, I'm about to turn this like I'm showing you something. The people that actually invented the thing are the deciding factor. Should be quite obvious to understand, considering how much money gets dumped into stuff that is of no consequence and doesn't bring to fruition anything, right? So it's the scientists, it's the engineers, it's the people of science. And then, of course, it's not science, because you know what? There's no shortage of scientific advancement and breakthroughs and all that stuff, medical and all that. And people are still dead because we have determined that, oh, science is all that matters. Religion and spirituality have nothing, and here it is, we have all this scientific whatever, and people are still miserable. And science has no dominion, but people, as intelligent as they are so imbecile that they can't see that. Well, okay. Point is, sorry to go off on that, because they enjoy doing it. Not because they were chasing being a high value person of money, power, prestige, and status. If they happen to get that, fine. That wasn't the point of their work, of which we all benefit from to this very day.